I'm out here at Results Physical Therapy and Training with Coach Richie.
Yes, sir.
So Richie, you got a lot of guys out here, and most of these guys are baseball players.
Yeah, right. This off season we have about upwards of 15 to 17 pro baseball guys.
Right. So they're pro base. So they're all over the place, from minor leagues, some free agents.
I have we got 3 free agents, some minor league guys that just got drafted like a year or 2 ago, and then some vets. We got some salty vets in here too.
Very nice, yeah. And so you said 17 this offseason?
About that, yeah.
And so how long ago did you start training baseball guys?
We started, about 4 years ago. So I started.
Pretty new.
Yeah. Had one guy, and then that kind of developed into 3 or 4, and we just kind of kept grinding, trying to train as best we can, and so we're here now.
You guys are out here pushing sleds. It's med ball work, then they're training. One thing I've noticed is that, especially in the weight room, a lot of unilateral stuff, a lot of one-sided stuff. Is that a product of baseball being a lot of one-sided stuff?
Yeah,
or is that for health issues? What's the purpose?
A little bit of both. So a lot of these guys are so asymmetrical because they do one motion. It's so repetitive over and over and over. And so when we come in and we test them, we do FMS and all our testing, baseline testing. We see so much asymmetries between each side. So definitely, we get the meat and potatoes with their main lifts and their Olympic variations and their bilateral squats, but we do a ton, especially now, kind of ramping up all the baseball stuff. Now we're really kind of getting into the unilateral stuff.
So as you get closer to season, you get into more unilateral stuff?
Yes and no. We do it through the whole off season, but now they're hitting so much and they're throwing, and they're really they don't really want to be in here as much. So we got to get a good bang for our buck and kind of take this is the backup, and they're really focusing on the baseball stuff now, getting ready for spring training.
Yeah, awesome. So when they are maybe earlier on or different times, you said you do some a lot of bilateral squats or some of the Olympic variations. You push the weight in those a little bit, or what exercises do you push the weight in the most?
I let these guys get after it. We do mostly a clean pull variation. Put that camera away, man. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, that's called Inception, I think.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll do some Olympic lift variations. So if I have a guy that threw weight around in college, I look at their resume. So if I have a guy that threw some weight around in college, we'll let him throw around a little bit. If I had a guy that was a high school draft pick, I'll kind of ease him into a little bit. I love front squat, so we don't back squat too much, just how the shoulder puts the shoulder in a position. So a lot of front squats, clean pulls, kind of our main, and deadlifts, main hip hinge.
Awesome. So that's something, you have a history in baseball. So do you find that a lot of the stuff you do, is it from different experiences you have? Do you have some strength and conditioning coaches that kind of helped you along the way? Or is it more of stuff you picked up as you traveled through it?
More of lack thereof. The stuff that we did before I had education was, now that I'm thinking about it, just made me scratch my head. Why did we do that? So it's more of stuff from my formal education. My undergrad and my grad school at Sac State. And then picking people's brains. I have a lot of really good mentors in the field. So just picking brains, and I test all the stuff too. So I do everything and make sure it's going to work for our guys.
So you mentioned a couple mentors. You want 1 or 2? Who are kind of your big mentors?
A couple big guys. Lauren Landau out in Colorado. Big name sports performance guy. Pick his brain a lot. Harry Theodorides at Sac State. Got all my Olympic lifting stuff from him. And just, that's the one good thing about having a formal education and seeing social media and the internet is I can kind of ease my way through and be like, okay, that's eyewash, this is good. So I have kind of the baseline, and then I get to pick and pull from a lot of big name people. Awesome.
Hey, well, thanks for having us out. Good job with these baseball guys, and we'll be in touch.
Of course, man.
All right, thanks, Richie.